Welcome to the live stream. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Shout out to the NTZ crew. It's Jeffrey Tatter. I don't know why I keep getting y'all mixed up. Jacob Tanje. I guess because y'all been on here just as long. I know Michael Beach Your Life will be on here. All my members, Roger Walker, Jeffrey Tatter, What Times It Travels, man. Thank y'all, man. I really mean that. I mean it. He says, shout out to all the men involved in a child's life, regardless if they're the biological father or not. Yeah, because I'm going to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, especially the stepfathers who get so little credit. We're taken for granted. But a father is a father. Thanks for pointing that out. All my old heads, Soul Snatcher, Mike Dawsonville, I saw you on here. Any new viewers and subscribers joining us today? There's 53 Shades Darker. Look, guys, he's going to start doing his live streams. Actually, he did his live stream Friday. I'm encouraging him to do his live streams right after mine because a lot of people still want to talk and still want to go on when I shut it down. And he's got some good conversation. And, if you want to piggyback, bro, I'm trying to help you. But, I think that's a great suggestion. And anybody catching this on replay, what's up, Hood Jay? I see that that damn trial that's going on in Atlanta right now with all those rappers and stuff. It's a joke. What's up, Don? We always have a topic. Today's topic is ageism. The other reason men are fleeing the West. We're going to talk about that. The discrimination that comes along with being old, the negative and limiting beliefs associated with growing older in America and in the West. What's up, 2019? Best wishes, man, for a speedy recovery. The peso is 58.7. That's unbelievable. I want to send my sincerest condolences to Johnny S. He's a avid follower of Sunshine Shows in the live stream. He actually came here with his whole family. He brought his whole family here to St. Carlos City, and they were not checked into their hotel good, and they got some devastating news. His big brother died. And now they're packing up and heading back to the United States. They were supposed to be here for 2 weeks. I was able to spend the day with them and, get to meet him and put a face to a name. But imagine making that long trip from California. I believe he's from the Bay Area. And they arrived here, I want to say Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. And now I have to turn around and go right back. So we send our sincerest condolences to you, Johnny, and your family. What's up, Blizzard of Broad? But let's talk a little bit about a couple of videos I did. One is it's probably not a good idea to come to the Philippines if you're desperate. And, if you watch that video, I was just trying to give some pointers. Come here when times are good, when you really don't need to be here. Because when you come here and you need to be here, man, it's never going to work out well. Being desperate is hopeless. It's like, man, I'm in an impossible situation. And we make these irrational decisions, impulsive decisions, but we never think about the consequences of those decisions. We got that sense of urgency. Remember, it was like a dope fiend at midnight who's run out of money. There's nothing worse than wanting another hit and you can't get it, guys. I've been in that situation. That's desperation. Fix it all over there before you get over here. Because you get no sympathy over here. They're going to chop your damn head off. You come over here. They can smell desperation from a mile away over here, because it's going to cloud your judgment. And if you're lucky enough to wake up in time, if you're lucky enough to wake up in time, he said, pesos 59 is 58.7. It's right there, knocking at the door. He said, great idea, brother. See, you can start today. Go on and get on there, make you a damn, I promise you, man, these guys, man, a lot of the guys on West Coast, when I get off, it's only 9 o'clock. And you like to bring yours on at 12. You know, we're talking about trying to help you really get off the ground. I was watching Joe Rogan. I never watched him before until my buddy Steve that did the walk with me. He kind of put me on to Joe Rogan. You know, I'm late with that. But he was talking to Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, the ex-drug dealer and everything. Go and watch that. But anyway, he had given him an idea, because when Rick Ross got out of prison, he did like 20 years and 3 months. When he went on Joe Rogan, he thought Joe Rogan was going to give him some money. But Joe Rogan gave him an idea, said, man, you need to create you a t-shirt. And says, the real Rick Ross is not a rapper. And he said he was disappointed, but he went home and did it. And the rest is history. He said that was 9 years ago, and that t-shirt is still generating income. So a lot of times, man, we got to take the good advice, the good sound advice, and run with it. He said, where's the next meet and greet? It's going to be in Davao, July 27th, 4 p.m. at the Aeon. TJ set that up. And if anybody knows TJ, you know, he don't shortcut. He don't take any shortcuts. He said that 2001 Palawan hostage crisis just aired on Court TV. Thanks for bringing this up, because see, people don't understand. This is where they're snatching you, and they've always snatched you from Palawan. But it's a, you know, it's not an open secret anymore. Okay, everybody loves Palawan, but just be careful, because that's where they get you. Palawan is on the South Sulu Sea. Why are you doing that right now? Why would y'all do that now? No, they said later. Hold on. Wait. Let me do it. You lift all them weights and you can't lift nothing. Thank you. That's the kids. They like to sleep outside at night. But yeah, Palawan is on the South Sulu Sea. So the bad guys, what they'll do, they'll take those little boats and they'll sail all the way there. And they've got lookouts. So if you're on one of them nice sailboats, or you're on one of those nice resorts near the water, the locals have already informed the bad guys. Excuse me. Because the bad guys pay them money. And they come in there and swoop you up. So just be careful. And people are like, oh, they don't kidnap black guys. Well, you don't want to be the first black guy. You don't want to get your head chopped off, because they'll chop your damn head off. What's up, Dolan May? Especially when they know they're not going to get anything for you. Okay? But just, you know, kind of put that in the back of your head. Stay around a place where there's a bunch of people. But, yeah, it's probably not a good idea to come here when you're desperate. Okay. He said, appreciate the support. Treatment's going well. That's good. And I want to thank Kaz for sending me that link. I put it in the description. I put it in late, but I put it in the description, because my next video is who is the predator and who is the prey in the Philippines. And this particular link goes to a video where this guy was the predator. Okay. But in my humble opinion, we're the prey over here. And I'm not going to give that video away. If you're a member, you can watch it now. But it won't upload to the regular YouTube until 6 a.m. Monday morning. What's up, Quintessential One? Happy Father's Day. What's up, Gary T? He's from San Francisco area. But in this video, I'll just give you a few points that I made in here. Foreigners have a bad reputation over here, foreign men. Okay, I don't think it's well deserved because they lump us all in the same basket. Whether you're a prince or a pedophile, you get labeled as a predator. You're taking advantage of these young, poor and innocent women, right? But if you believe that story, because most men are invited over here to the Philippines, we just don't get on a plane and come over here. So if you believe that we're the predator, then you would believe that the sheep would invite the wolf to dinner. Okay, it doesn't make sense. But it does make sense for the wolf to invite the sheep to dinner, knowing the sheep is going to be the dinner. So this is what I'm getting at. I'm getting at we need to take control of the narrative surrounding our reputation over here. It's bad. And no matter how much good you do, it doesn't seem to change that. And then we got other men who are jumping on the bandwagon, pouring fuel to the fire about how bad we are. What's up, Joseph? Yeah, happy Father's Day to everybody. I mean that. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. I'm just telling you the history. When you think about the kidnapping, which y'all do, okay? Y'all think about the kidnapping over here. You think it's in the bad guy area. No, they get you in the good area. And then they take you back to the bad areas, I love the child. Because all you got to do is look at the map. Palawan is in the South Sulu Sea, where Tawi Tawi is, Baziland, and also Holo Sulu, where a lot of the bad guys are. Just know that. That's all I'm saying. We don't want anybody to get in trouble. What's up, Marlon? Thanks for that super chasers. What's up, my man Calvin? Glad I made it live. Man, I'm glad you could join us. Thanks for your support. But all foreign guys aren't the same. But because Filipinos have so little interaction with foreigners, they think we're all the same. So they think an Indian is the same as an American. Australian is the same as a Canadian or whatever, or Chinese. Okay, they think we're all the same. Okay, the holiday is tomorrow, and the people at the bank told me this, by the way, RV. He says it's the Muslim Eid Adha, no work. Yeah, he just told me, he said, Calvin, it's a long weekend. We're not going to be open on Monday. He said it's a holiday. So just know that if you're coming here to the Philippines, if you're already here, the banks are going to be closed, probably no mail, which, that's the only, if you ask me if I had a complaint about the Philippines, it would be the mail system, especially when you're talking about coming from the West, send a piece of mail from the West to here. Johnny, the guy I told you who's leaving, he sent me a letter May the 9th. Still hasn't gotten here yet. As a matter of fact, we were corresponding. I said, you're going to beat that letter here. I guess he didn't believe me, but he did. Now he's getting ready to go back home for an emergency, and the letter still hasn't arrived. When it gets to the Philippines, it's in the Philippines, but then it goes into this black hole, and you don't hear about it again until you get it. What's up, John? There's Lonnie Franklin. But one more thing about this, are you the predator, are you the prey? See, a lot of men are turned off by that. That's why they don't come here. They go other places where they're not seen as the predator, where they're not being discriminated against, they're not being attacked. We get attacked when we come over here. And they don't want that. They want to be seen in a better light. You know, it's stressful sometimes when you got to put up with that old bad reputation. But let's get over here. What's up, Jay Shabazz? To the topic, ageism. So now one of them isms that comes from the West, racism, sexism, ageism. And all ageism is negative thinking about growing older. Or what else did I put down here? What did I put down here about? Well, that's what it is. And, you know, growing old in the West is associated, you know, with dying and other negative things. We're going to talk about some of the limiting beliefs associated with growing old, because I'm going to tell you something. Growing old or growing older in a right state of mind and body is a blessing. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But you know what we do to old things in America? Specifically, we replace it or throw it away. Over here, you know, because it says we're not supposed to matter. According to the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, you lose 7.5 years, you die 7.5 years sooner when you have a negative thoughts about growing older. Like you don't want to grow older and everything like that. You're afraid of growing older. Because remember, we're discriminated against over there. We're not supposed to be able to do anything when we get old. Remember, you're over the hill. Just think about old rappers and old sports athletes and just, you know, we're supposed to sit down somewhere in the corner and be quiet. He said, that's a negative way to be thinking, putting all foreigners in the same basket. Well, it's just what it is over here. Now, I'm going to tell you, Philippine Paradise, because that's what they do. Okay, there was a video the other day on Facebook. Merle was showing me, okay, this Filipino woman has cancer. And, you know, she's dying, basically. And the foreign man doesn't leave her. He stays there with her, you know, when she's sick. And you know what Merlin said? She showed it to me because she's shocked. She thinks he's the exception. She's like, no, because you know all you foreign men, if the woman gets sick, you leave. I said, Merlin, that's not true. You haven't been around enough foreign men to make that assumption. But that's the mindset over here, that we're bad, that we come over here to do harm. Okay? It has nothing to do with reality. They haven't had enough interaction with us for her to make that sweeping assumption. See, I told her about King Arthur on here, which I haven't seen King Arthur in a long time on the live stream. But anyway, his wife died of cancer and he stayed with her all the way to the end. Okay, but she made that assumption. See, that we're going to pack up and run when things get bad, but that's just not true. But that's just how little she knows about, you know, foreign men. I mean, she's never been around foreigners really until she met me. And now, you know, it's all she's getting more exposure. But, you know, there's so much surrounding, so much negative and limiting beliefs surrounding getting older. You know, people are surprised, you know, because there's a lot of things you're not supposed to do when you get older, like fall in love. You're not supposed to fall in love. And if you don't believe me, there's a short that I did, and one of the first comments on there is like, yeah, old men shouldn't be falling in love. He said, okay, we're not supposed to have a healthy sex life as you get older. It's like, you might as well cut it off. I mean, they look at you cringy to think that you're screwing, whether you're man or woman. What else I put down here? We're not supposed to have fun. We're not supposed to have a youthful spirit. Especially what are you talking about Filipino men? Well, over here, 60 is old. Hey, what's up? He says, Steve McBride says, opinion, what is it with all these YouTubers in the Philippines like bashing each other, calling each other pedos and dirtbags, MK, regular guy, Andy, etc.? What's with all this animosity? You got to ask them that. That's a good question. But remember, on this new video, I'm telling you that it makes it worse because men have joined in to fight. They're adding fuel to the fire. I don't know. It's a psychological, it's their psychological makeup. Misery loves company, guys. Remember, these are men fighting other men, but we're supposed to be under attack. But you're in trouble when you got other men, especially Western men, bashing each other and want to be the police and pretending like they care. They really don't care, man. They're just looking for an audience. They're looking to gain some traction. But yeah, Stephen, that's a great question. It's one I can't answer. Because for the life of me, I don't know why people dick watch over here, pocket watch. I mean, and I don't know. I've asked this question many times. I don't know if any other vloggers come under attack more than foreign vloggers in the Philippines. Hey, Marlon, thanks for that super chat. He said, we can't replace you, boss man. Stay with us. Hey, thank you, man. He says, my wife put a few straight back chairs together last week when I was in ICU and wouldn't leave the hospital until I was released. She slept outside the ICU and didn't leave. Well, you got a good woman, man. Hey, thank you, Adrian, and welcome to the Sunshine Show's community. He said, I wonder what happened to King. I don't know, but he's a perfect example of what Western men are. A lot of Western men are. We don't fit the bill. We're not coming over here to do harm. First of all, they were married for so many decades, and he stayed there all the way to the end. But she thought it was such a big deal that foreign man stayed with that Filipino. I said, well, first of all, he's from Britain. You can't put us all in the same basket. He said, you look as old as you feel. Yeah, you got your chronological age, and then you've got your biological age. It's really two different things. But what we're talking about today is the reason we're leaving the West. No one's even saying it, but subconsciously, is because of the ageism over there. We're supposed to deal with older women. We're not supposed to have a life. We're supposed to just wait until Jesus comes, until we die. We're not supposed to have fun. We're not supposed to be happy. We're not supposed to live. Like, sit down, old man. You're done. So when they see us over here, that's why they attack us. Age discrimination is what's behind this age gap hysteria that's so crazy in Southeast Asia. It's age discrimination because there's two people in that relationship, but it's only the old man or the old woman who gets attacked. The young woman doesn't get attacked. She's looked at as the victim. As if 25-year-old women and 30-year-old women don't know how to take care of themselves, can't make grown folk decisions. But if you don't hear anything else I say today, hear this. Growing old or growing older in your right state of mind and body is a blessing. It's not a curse, guys. You know, you can literally turn back the time of your life by eating better, exercising every day, and just having a positive attitude as it pertains to getting older. But all these negative uh, beliefs associated with getting old, you know, specifically dying and not being able to do all the things you did when you were younger. But that's bullshit, man. If you're 30 now or 40 and you start taking better care of yourself, who knows what it's going to be when you get 60 or 70? When I met Bob Hope in 1983, he came on to our ship. You know what he said? He was like 80 something at the time. He said, if I knew I was going to live to be this old, I'd have took better care of myself when he was younger. One time the travel says these older women in the West compete with younger women for men as long as they're high value. Yeah, you know, and it goes with, you know, you hear me talk about, I'm not discriminating against older women. I'm just saying I don't prefer them. But age has nothing to do with life, really. I say live, I say be happy. They're surprised when they see older men doing certain things. Oh, look at him, he's working out every day. Look at him. You know, it's like, oh, he's just like a cute little puppy. It's cringy, man. Hey, Lamar, I said, what's happening? Happy Father's Day, Sunshine Shows and crew. Like you said, you're never too old until you're dead. Stay motivated, bro. Yeah, that's true. Okay, but we're not supposed to matter. Just sit down somewhere. We're no longer relevant. And we buy into it. So we go into these midlife crises, midlife transitions. We dye our hair. We dye our damn eyebrows. You know, we get the convertible and wear those silly looking clothes because we don't want to get old. Because society says growing older is a bad thing. Well, I don't know. It just depends on what your definition of helping means. As far as spending more money, listen, Area 51, I don't know if you live here or not. There's Filipino men over here who have much more money than I do, and a lot of the men who come over here. Everybody here is not broke, okay? But if you're talking about the masses, I really don't know. Yeah, it just gets better with time. But see, in our minds, you know, guys, that we try to stay young as we possibly can, okay? Remember, just think of old rappers and, you know, you're over the hill. You're too old. So you come under attack when you come to the Philippines because you're not supposed to fall in love. You're not supposed to be sexually active. You're not supposed to still be in the pursuit of happiness. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Steven, thanks for that super chat. He said, I got to go. I appreciate your channel. Got a friend to start viewing you as well. We both are going to visit the Philippines. You have up from visits from subscribers all the time. I told you a guy just left here. He's leaving. He's probably on the ferry now going back to Cebu. They catch their plane in the morning. He just got here Thursday. He was supposed to stay here for 2 weeks. Imagine he paid for 2 weeks in the hotel. See, if I was petty, because I know the lady who owns the hotel, her and her boyfriend, they work out there all the time. She was, if I was petty, I would have said, hey, let me stay in that hotel room. Don't just give them that money. But he's not petty like that. I don't know if they're going to give him a refund or not, but knowing the Philippines, probably not. He said, Jenna defined the midlife crisis. Hey, thank you, Marlon, for the super chat. He said, just get my man a cup of coffee, no sugar. Yeah. This is I've had 37 complete days, 38. But it's a lifestyle change. If you only knew the diet I had before and the diet I'm on now, it's a gradual change. See, if you got dreams, plus persistence, plus patience, man, it's really gonna equal miracles. That's my equation. I made that up. It's not original, but I made that up. That's what Napoleon Hill is talking about in his book, Think and Grow Rich. If you settle on a definite purpose and you stand by, okay, with the patience, with the persistence, it's gonna happen. It cannot not happen. But now, you know, Maryland started to believe. Okay, you know she's paying attention when she says, you know what, since you start eating better, the food bill went up. We're spending more on food. And it's true, and that's not what I said. It's one of the reasons why wealthy people live longer. Because instead of buying the 99-cent McCheeseburger, they'll spend that 99 cents on a orange. See, an orange here is 65 pesos. Do you think a Filipino is going to buy a 65 peso orange or a 65 peso kilo of rice? Daniel Drug Free says, I'm getting better with age. I can do some things better than my 20 or 30-year-old nephews. Like you said, Calvin, it's all about how you take care of yourself. 10% physical, 90% mental. They go together. Believe it or not, according to the WHO, they said ageism is associated with a shorter lifespan.
Where's my swimsuit?
I don't have it. Poor physical and mental health, and dying 7.5 years earlier. Just your attitude about getting older can help you live longer, can help you live a better life. But we've already been programmed, man. You got to get that out of your subconscious mind. That growing older is something bad when it's not. He said, bump that. This is your life. They want you and you want them. Then where's the problem? Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. But you have to understand that everybody doesn't see it as black and white like you and me. There's a lot of gray area in there. Some people don't want to come over here and face the scrutiny that we face. Okay, Mr. Rational, I'm just telling you, this is just real life. My channel is real life. I'm not going to play with it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You face a lot of damn scrutiny when you come to the Philippines and Thailand and Vietnam and Southeast Asia as a Western man, especially an older man. We're discriminated against. We're all put in that same basket, whether you're a prince or a pedophile. And some guys are like, I ain't got time for that. I don't want to be fighting against that. I've been fighting my whole life. I'm supposed to come here and relax. So some guys don't come over here. It would be that simple if we all could put that cap on and come over here and say, you know what? I'm happy, I'm satisfied, who cares? It takes a while for some people to get there. It took a while for me to get there. But I'm just telling you the truth. You're put under a microscope when you come over here. Old men aren't supposed to fall in love. We're not supposed to have young girlfriends. We're not supposed to have a healthy sex life. We're not supposed to eat better and lift weights and have a six-pack. We're supposed to sit down some damn where and wait till we die. Wait till Jesus comes. This is society, not me. He said we used to respect our elders when we grew up. And that's true. And they respect the elders over here, but you're a foreign man, so they're going to put you in the same basket as everybody else. It doesn't matter how good you are. Okay? You're not going to be rewarded on your own merit, which is what we want. It's a very strange place when it comes to that. Okay, they put all foreigners in the same basket, and you can't change the Philippines. Philippines will change you. Okay, but you cannot change the Philippines. So, Mr. Rationale, you're right. That's where we're trying to get to. But some guys aren't there yet. Some guys never get there. If you don't believe there's ageism going on in the world, then open your eyes, man. Y'all been woke for too long. Wake up. True Talk, he said, I have IBS. What's that? But here, eating clean and less processed stuff, it's minimal. He said, well, I'm pretty sure you're not looked on as an old man over there because you don't look your age. I'm the same way. I don't look my age. I consider it a blessing. But it doesn't matter. I'm still lumped in with all the rest of the foreigners. I'm still a foreigner. Even though foreigners over here are a rainbow. We come from all over the world. Some have education. Some are uneducated. Some are rich. Some are poor. Some are making it. But we're all the same, Frank. We're seen as the same. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or you're 80. And this is what you got to get through to these young guys. They think they're something special when they come over here. They're not. But you have to understand that foreigners have a bad reputation over here. And there's nothing we can do seem to be able to flip that. But that's what we're trying to do. That's what I have these conversations for. If we can just chip away at that old bad reputation. I saw a guy the other day. I'm walking. Was it yesterday? Yeah. He was a black guy. He had a beautiful motorcycle, beautiful woman with him. He's on his way back to Cebu. He's thinking about moving to Bacolod. He said, hey, aren't you Sunshine Shows? Come to find out. I remember meeting him in Ayala the day before Typhoon Odette. He said, man, right before, when he first saw me, he said, you probably get this all the time, don't you? I said, no, it's not many black men in San Carlos City. He said, but man, you holding it down for black men, and I got to give you that. Basically saying I put black men on my shoulders in this part of the Philippines. Okay, he said I'm a good ambassador. Okay, but it doesn't matter really because they never saw black men over here, but it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. But I still try to be on the best behavior as I possibly can. I really am trying to chip away at the reputation that black men have around the world. It may take me forever to do it, but I don't mean I don't have to try. He said, can't talk about the next generation when we raise them. Thank you. And I talk about this all the time. I say, the greatest generation is our parents. From the baby boomers on down, man, we dropped the ball. We've gotten lazy. But I want to get back to that respecting your elders. Okay. Lonnie says, yeah, Cal, I've been getting some blowback from a couple of guys on my job saying, why am I going over there? Is they stuck in the matrix? Yeah, you're discriminated against. That just means you're unjustly treated. You're unfairly judged. If I were going to Paris, people would pat me on the back. If I was going to London, man, make sure you go see Big Ben and all this and the changing of the guard. But when you come to the Philippines, they're saying, yeah, you're a pedophile. There's guys who come after me all the time, right? And they do these, they document me, they pay that money and do a background check, but they can't come up with anything. That, they don't believe that I don't have a police record. I've never been in trouble before. Okay. So why do they do it? You got to ask them that. If you only knew the emails that I receive on a daily basis, cats, I'm not a victim. I'm just saying that we're sick out here. If I were anywhere else, I wouldn't be getting this type of hate and stuff. Okay. When I'm trying to help people. I mean, these guys who are really trying to discredit me, really trying to bring me down, I'm thinking like, well, what is that going to do for your life, man? I mean, really. He said, man, I hate it here. Karens are everywhere. Yeah, I mean, especially older men. Moments with Mitch. We're not supposed to be happy. I don't get it. We're supposed to just be on a deacon in church and sit in church all day. That's what we're supposed to do. So when you see an old man out there in society, wherever he is, and he's got a younger woman or he's winning, they're going to talk about him. Something's wrong with him. But ageism, when you think negatively about growing older, because they said Michael Jackson didn't want to grow old. Well, he died young. It says it reduces older people's quality of life and it increases loneliness. This is what I'm getting from the World Health Organization. Imagine just having a negative attitude about getting older and you trying your best to stay young as you possibly can. Okay? It takes 7.5 years off your life. Crazy, man. That's because the man and the body is connected. Yeah, he said, I didn't work hard all my life for society to exile me. I'm going to keep on living. That's right. But some people, they've been beat down every step, Golden Gate. Here come more rocks. Here come more obstacles. They give up, man. So they go into the senior high-rise prison. It's a warehouse, really. I saw it every day for 16 years. I was right there on the front line, and it stuck in my subconscious mind. I said, I don't want this. I'm not going to live like this at 62. Bingo every Tuesday. Walmart every Thursday. Then they have people like me coming in once a week, telling them about how to lower their blood pressure and how to reverse their diabetes and all that. What a life, man, for somebody, like you said, who's worked hard their entire life, who's put us on their shoulders, and this is the treatment they get. If you have a girlfriend, she better be 62. He says, I'd rather grow young than old. Well, be careful, man, because, you know, with that sort of thinking, there's nothing wrong with being old. Yeah, people are calling Eminem a geezer in America. Dude's only 50. Yeah, that's what I mean. Imagine they're calling LeBron James old. He's 40. It's crazy, man. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because I know it's affected us. But unless you're some alien, that's why I have these conversations. I want you to be honest with yourself. How does that affect you, really? He says, I agree with 53 Shades and Mr. Rational. About what? Mithringo, thanks for that super chat. He said, we're conditioned to fight against our own self-interest. We are. As men, we're supposed to just go to our grave providing and maintaining and protecting everybody but our damn self. That's what you're conditioned to do. You're not supposed to have any fun. You're not supposed to look out for yourself. You're being selfish in the wrong way. He said, people get hung up on the age gap. Truth is, we just want women who want and appreciate us. Being fit, feminine, and friendly is the bare minimum we're looking for and are very happy with. Yeah, but that's just discrimination. You know, I got brown skin. I'm a decent human being. But because of my brown skin, people treat me different. It's the same way with the age gap. Ageism is behind the age gap hysteria. age discrimination. You're not supposed to want to be happy and have a younger woman and have a healthy sex life. You understand what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be in the gym. Okay, because I'm guilty of it myself. When I used to run these marathons and half marathons and stuff, and I see these older people running past me, I make a big deal out of it when it's no big deal, guys. He said, I used to watch Jack LaLanne. They were talking about that the other day. You mean poking the bear? Yeah, they're hung up on the age gap because it's age discrimination. They're not talking about the girl or the woman or the young man. They're looked at as the victim. We're taking advantage of them. It doesn't make sense for the sheep to invite the wolf to dinner, knowing you're going to be the damn dinner. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. We're not preying on these women over here. A lot of times, we're the ones being preyed upon. The trap is being set for us, for them to catch us. We've got what they need. He said, I know a married guy in Massachusetts who sent money to women for years. Dudes like him are the ones sending emails. I don't know who it is, but I just know that, just like the guy said, what's going on with all this, these Filipino vloggers being bashed and bashing each other? I don't know if it's because we're over here and people are jealous. I think that's what it is. Well, the Philippines is supposed to be a third world country and it's all Thailand is better and all this and all that. Then why do we come under such scrutiny when we come over here? Why are people so jealous when we live here? Can't y'all just leave us alone then? Because that's not the case, okay? They know that this place is a whole lot better than where they are. He said, I'm winning regardless. It baffles you why men die before women on the whole. It shouldn't baffle you. The fact is, women go to the doctor more than men, Frank. So don't let that baffle you. Just look at your own self. Men that's in the service and all that like that, they're used to going to the doctor. I'm talking about the masses. Okay, even though my father was in the military, he was during the Korean conflict. You know, when my father showed up at the VA, it was too late. He already had cirrhosis of the liver. Unless he got a liver transplant, he was going to die, and he died. Okay, he started showing up at the doctor when he got those liver spots. That's why we died sooner than the women, Frank. Don't be baffled. And remember, we're the ones building the infrastructure. We're way 200 feet in the air while she's down on the ground making sandwiches. We're up there walking on beams of steel 5 inches wide. Don't let that baffle you, man. Yeah, they live longer. Hey, Eric Powell, thanks for that super chat. He said, I remember when the old heads in the neighborhood always had a young girl on the side. Because they knew what I'm trying to tell you guys. Men and women, we don't age the same. Women mature faster than us, physically and mentally. Okay, when you're 14 and your little 14-year-old girlfriend starts having her period, meaning she can have babies now, all of a sudden you're too young. She wants an 18, 19, 20-year-old man. But that just keeps on going. So now you look at Vivica Fox, she's 60. She's a lot older than me. Because if you don't believe that this ageism and the negativity surrounding getting old, look at all the plastic surgery that goes on around the world. where people are trying to stay young. They don't want to get old. They don't want the crow's feet, and they don't want any of that stuff. They try to hide their age, but it works against them, Eric, instead of working for them. I'm thankful, man, I'm 61. My father died at 61. My mother died at 62. It's up to me now to maintain this physical and mental health that I have right now. If I let it go, because I believe that as I get old, I'm not supposed to work out. So a friend of mine over here saw me. He says, man, I want to be like you. I said, well, do what I do then. You can't continue to sit over there and eat deep fried pig feet sandwiches and think you're going to lose that big ass gut you got. Stop eating all that sugar. Drink more water. Get off your ass and go walking every day. Make yourself do something. You know, that's all I'm saying. But you're only lying to yourself if you don't have any negative thoughts about getting old. And when you see an old person, you know, because I was told growing up, don't look old people in the eye because you're going to see yourself. That's exactly what I've got on here, Thomas. We're not supposed to be happy. We're not supposed to have fun, a youthful spirit. If you do, you go out disco dancing, they're going to look at you like, what's that old guy doing in here in the club? They think you out of place. Like, well, where am I supposed to be? This is ageism. It's working against them too, by the way. Not only when you think negatively about growing old for yourself, but when you think negatively about others growing old, it takes 7.5 years off your life. But it doesn't matter. Okay, I was telling the guy today, you dirty puppy. As human beings, man, we're all on the same team. Okay, you guys want to be better than somebody else and all that, then go ahead. You want to preach all that stuff, you're hiding behind an invisible profile saying this, all this stuff. Okay, I just did a video. Evidently, you don't follow me. He said, foreigners like you and numerous others are fully supporting absent Philippine fathers' children. I made a whole video. My amazing my amazing foreign boyfriend or husband. Dude, you late. Okay? No one's talking about that. Yeah, I've been talking about that for a long time. Where are the fathers? At least give foreign men credit for that. Thank you. I just did a whole video. Go in my library. It's not even a week old yet. Yeah, but hell, look how long when he finally got his chance. And this is what I'm talking about, though, Golden Gate. Why is it a big deal that he was 59? Because a 59-year-old isn't supposed to be pitching in the pros, or a 50-year-old or whatever it is. You know, they make a big deal out of Tom Brady. Well, hell, he was the quarterback. A quarterback should have a longer career. He's taking less hits. But we make a big deal out of it. Hey, Mike Dawsonville, thanks for that super chaser. Don't worry, Cal. We have another 100 years to go. Yeah, you would hope, but honestly, you don't. We don't know how much time we got left. Yeah, invisible profiles, but they have all the answers. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. I just made a video moments with Mitch. What, 3 days ago or something? Talking about my amazing foreign boyfriend or husband, the impact we have on the lives of Filipinos over here, giving us our flowers. And then he posts something like that when somebody probably raised him. His father probably didn't raise him. And if he did, okay, big deal. But there's a lot of people. See, this is where we're better than somebody else. Well, I'm sorry. We're all on the same team. He said the only old guys that don't get no flack are men with money. Now they get flack. They get flack because that's what we say. We say, yeah, but you got money. We put that asterisk there, but still Jerry Jones having babies. Y'all know it still boggles your mind, but if he hasn't had a vasectomy, okay, he says, I hate it when dudes living in America left their broken country. You mean come over to the Philippines, marry a Filipina, and now they talk down on original Filipino women. Yeah. Oh, you saying, oh, came to America, okay, married a Filipina over there, and now they talk down on the regular Filipino women. Well, you know, there's a that's a character defect when you got to put somebody else down to build yourself up. He acts like there's only single mothers in the Philippines. There's single mothers everywhere because our relationships don't work out, believe it or not. Most of them don't. And just because you have children with somebody doesn't tie you to that person forever. I mean, it does responsibly. You still got to take care of the child, but I mean, it's not going to make that relationship work. We're extremists in America. You know, we really think that people are supposed to be perfect. That's why this council society is so big over there, where it's not big anywhere else. You know, they made a big deal out of Kevin Spacey, right? Remember, he's charged with all this stuff. They tried to try him in the court. Now that the man's been found innocent, it's crickets. It's like, man, come on, guys. It's crazy over there. Yeah, no respect for old people. It used to be. Now you need to go sit down somewhere. He said deep fried pig feet sandwiches. Yeah, but they want to look like the other guys who are looking good for their age, who are out there sacrificing their time and their bodies for a better result. But they just want to sit back and watch you and say, "Oh man, I want to be like you," and then they get mad at you for doing what they don't want to do. So I believe that's where a lot of the hate comes from. When the guy Stephen McBride asked that question, because it's crazy. If I'd have known, and I say this all the time, but it's 100% facts, then I was going to have to deal with all this immaturity, all this hate, and everything that's thrown my way just from being on YouTube. Man, I'd have never started a channel because you can't reach these guys. They won't come to the Philippines and sit down and say, "Hey, man, look, I got a problem with you." No, what they'll do is they'll go behind your back and send out false charges to the authorities. And, you know, they'll attack you and your family and everybody else. For what? I don't know. I have no idea. What's up, Elette? We see you. Yeah, I mean, it's just obvious if you're paying attention. But remember, Kamal, we can flip that on his head and say, oh, you guys are suckers. Yeah, drinking more water is really the key. Most of us don't drink nearly enough water. And when you're thirsty, you take it for being hungry. So you go in there and get something to eat. But, you know, a lot of people are lazy because as they get older, they say, oh, I'm not supposed to work out. Or, you know, you say this to yourself, I can't. Now, then you fill in the blank. I can't, yeah, because I'm old. But then guess what? You become what you think about. If you say you can't and you keep saying that over and over, and guess what? You can't. Your mind and your body is connected. But growing old with a sound mind and sound body, man, is a blessing. It's nothing to be ashamed about. And the sooner you get over that, the better. because I'm being desperate. There's desperate men in America who would love, they would sop up Vivica Fox. I mean, it's only guys out in the open talking about her. Man, Vivica Fox showed up and said, hey, come on, let's go out, let's travel. You know, I got money. And, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. A lot of us would be on board, regardless of what we're talking about. But it's a lot of desperate men over there. Okay? Yeah, crispy Potter. Yeah, it is, but you can't eat that stuff and think you're going to lose any weight and be in shape. You see how big that crispy Potter is, man? Okay, I mean, it's huge. Yeah, that's my style too. I love, now I haven't had it because I don't even think they sell bologna over here in the Philippines. If they do, probably in SNR, one of those places. He said, my rat race ends in 30 days. Congratulations, man. See, that's what we're talking about. But ageism is the negative thinking about growing older, and the discrimination surrounding it, the limiting beliefs associated with growing old, because it's all negative. If I grow old, that means I'm going to die. Well, you're going to die anyway. Yeah, 30 days, man. Yeah, I think he let you got a job. Hell, you got to go to. Yeah, he said, yeah, at 60, I really have to push myself to get off the couch. Well, if you keep pushing, you're going to automatically get up. I did 3 sets of my routine yesterday. Normally I do 2. I just said, well, let me do 3. Let me push myself today. He said, hey Cal, the Filipino people look at you and your relationship in a negative way. Well, they put us all in the same basket. I really don't know. I can't read their minds, but I know that they put all foreigners in a negative light. Okay, you know, we're takers. We come over here to do harm, to take advantage of, you know, these poor and innocent women and the circumstances. So you have to work against that from day one. And you're going to work against that until the time you leave. And some people get tired of it. Some people say, I'm not going to deal with that. I know who I am. I'm a man of good character. But you're just not going to change the Philippines. So, you know, because I'm a foreigner, because they call me a foreigner and I'll never be anything other than a foreigner, well, I'd take that as being negative. I'll never be Calvin Roach. I'm always going to be a foreigner. If they see Marilyn, they're going to say, oh, yes, she's married to a foreigner. Her boyfriend is a foreigner. Then they're going to say, oh, yes, that's Calvin's girlfriend. He says, well, I don't have socials. I do a YouTube channel about here. I only talk to family and closest friends in the States. A Philippines family here is more family than I have here. But see, this is when we lose, though. We can't let them dictate what we're going to do. We can't allow that. They're going to win. I'm glad I didn't know. But now that I know, it's like, you know, F y'all, man. You're not going to, you know, run me off of here just because, you know, you can. Or you think you can, or you get a kick out of it. He says of the age difference. Well, me and Marilyn's age difference, remember I talked about that before. The only problem really is the woman's age. It has nothing to do with your age. It has nothing to do with the age gap. Marilyn's 42, I'm 61, so they don't look at it in a negative light. If Marilyn was 22, it would be a different story. But it has nothing to do with me, okay? I'm still going to be 61. If the woman is younger, they got a problem with it. Excuse me, even if the woman don't have a problem with it. They act like these young women over here can't make decisions on their own, which they can. Well, hell, I'm older than Vivica Fox, so if you say she's old, retired 2019, then you saying you're old, or that I'm old. He says, Cal, you're absolutely right. My Rwandan wife is 37 years younger. She and I don't give a damn what people think. When I lived in Shanghai, every woman I dated was at least 30 years younger. Women mature faster. And it just keeps on going. Okay, I don't know. That's the way nature planned it. So, in order for you to get along with somebody, well, let's keep it on me. I'm probably going to have to deal with a woman younger than me because I don't know. I'm just saying that a lot of 60-year-old women aren't in the gym because they've convinced themselves they're not supposed to be there. I'm a grandmother. I'm too old. I got other things to do than be in the gym. So that would turn me off. He said, that's true. You become what you think about. I'm 40, but in my mind, I'm 32. But it's true. Your mind is what runs everything. You are a body with a mind. Or a man, all your body really does is carry your mind around. That's all it really does. Because without your brain, it wouldn't work. You couldn't do anything. You've got this magnificent mind. So whatever you program your mind to do, your body's gonna follow it. So if all you're thinking about is negative things, guess what's gonna come into your life? Negative stuff. It takes a while. We're programmed. Stop reading the newspaper. Stop looking at the news and all the bad, negative stuff because it stays up in here. He said, whether you believe you can or can't do something, you're right. Henry Ford said that. He said, while reading, click the thumbs up. Thanks, Elect. But here's some of the stuff old people aren't supposed to do. We're not supposed to be in great shape. How many times have people said, oh, you look good for your age? Like that's a compliment, man. It's a slap in the face. Why can't you just say, man, you look good? Because we're programmed to do that. You're not supposed to look good at 61. You're supposed to be, 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot slipping. You're not supposed to have fun. Show up at the nightclub tonight, guys over in the West, because it's getting late over there. Just go in there, the bar or whatever. They're going to look at you like, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be somewhere, sleep with Bengay all over you. That's the attitude. When they think about old men or old women having sex, it's cringy, man. What happened? Still working? What am I supposed to do? Set a limit on when I can have sex? Life with a Survivor, thanks for that super chat. He said, Cal, you keep doing you. At least you have an opinion. We all do. Thank you, Life with a Survivor. Thank you, David S. for the super chat. He says, I'm in my 40s. Once had a 23-year-old girl in Texas that had no kids. She called me an old man. We dated for 4 months. She left me for a 28-year-old jobless dude. Now after 2 kids, she wants me back. Yeah. I was watching something the other day. I don't know what they call those guys, but she thought he was going to be better. This is a rebound, really, probably, what happened. But women over here, they're different. The circumstances are different. So if they got a good man in his 40s, they're probably not going to let you go. They would live to regret that. Yeah, yeah. He said, yeah, it's like saying you sure look good for an old man, an old worn out prune. Yeah, it's not a compliment when you tell people that. What's that Hispanic or Latino woman who still looks good after all these years? She's an actress. What's her name? She's always in bikinis and stuff, married to a billionaire or something. Hey, oh, she looks good for her age. Why can't you just say she looks good? Yeah, hit the like button. Yeah, warm milk. Hey, what's up, Angelo? Good to see you. It's retired 29 said, Cal, 60-year-old woman has few dating options. It's different for a 61-year-old man. Well, I guess, that can be your opinion, retired 2019. She does have some dating options. There's actually 60-year-old men who would love to date Vivica Fox. Okay, or 70-year-old men, or 80-year-old men. But do we have more options? I would say so, because she's older. But that goes into the ageism. That's playing into it again. You call her old, and I'm saying, well, if she's old, then we're old. Yeah, you look so good for being so old. Yeah, but you're not supposed to be happy. So that's why they make a big deal out of Vivica Fox, being out there and saying, hey, I want a husband. And they're saying, lady, you're 60, you're too old. Go lay down somewhere. See, that's ageism. We all do it. But be careful doing that. If you do it over the long run, it's going to cost you 7.5 years off your life. Your mental and physical health is going to suffer because of that. Your quality of life is going to suffer, and it increases your chances of being lonely on down the line, guys. This stuff is serious because your mind and your body is connected. You keep thinking those negative thoughts about old people and growing older. It's going to cost you. Don't say I didn't tell you. I didn't say it. He said, I look forward to riding the ocean jet. I enjoy the ocean jet as long as it's not too far of a trip, because it's just a smooth ride most of the time. And you usually, the longest I've ever rode is like an hour and a half. Then you're going to stop somewhere for an hour, so then you go the other hour and a half. Like from Sikihor to Cebu is, they say 4 hours, it's really 3. You go from Sikihor to Tagbilaran, Bohol, then from Tagbilaran, Bohol to Cebu. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is her. You, don't you know if you went up and told her, you really look good for your age, do you think she would take that as a compliment? No. Just tell her you look good. She really looks good. She still looks good, but as you get older and you got money, you're probably gonna live longer and better and look more healthier than somebody who doesn't have money, because you can afford to look good. The nutritionist. Why do you think a lot of these athletes let themselves go? Once you're out of the league, you don't have all those fancy nutritionists and all that. And because because everybody's doing everything for you, you don't learn anything. You don't learn how to eat better for yourself. So when you don't have anybody sitting there cooking every meal, see, that's discipline. When they show you, hey, show up at the training table at 10 o'clock versus self-discipline. When you know what foods you're supposed to eat, and you can cook them for yourself. But they let themselves go because they don't have that specialized cook and for special meals placed in front of them anymore. They revert back to their old self. But yeah, be careful calling people old, man. He says Jaja Gabor. But Jaja Gabor was just the same. Well, and they can afford to go to the doctor. They got good health care and everything like that. They made the connection between good health and a good life. Well, see, this is all this internet stuff. But just become one of the 1% then. And you won't have a problem with that. But I don't bind all these numbers like that. I'm telling you, my mother said something so profound that it still resonates with me today. A woman is the least thing you got to worry about if you take care of yourself. Focus on yourself. Get your life together. And you're going to attract. You're going to be like a human magnet. You're going to attract the people and the circumstances into your life. Okay? That are a reflection of you. Every soul attracts its own, man. You know. I don't want to hear that 99%, 1%. That's bullshit. He said, yeah, I'm 44. And they look at me like that. Not even in the club. It's just everything in our society. They say, if you're old, let's replace it. Let's get rid of it. Let's throw it away. Imagine every year they come out with new cars. What's that all about? So every year they want you to trade in your car. I had just bought the convertible, the Toyota Solara convertible. And why pay $25,000 for it, you know, financing and stuff. So why in the world would you want to send me promotion and marketing materials? It's just as soon as the newer model come out. Same with the Apple and everything. Apple phones. They want you to keep spending all that money. And they still do. They still give the best life lessons, but Thomas, we don't seek them out anymore. Imagine thinking that an old person doesn't know anything, or an older person doesn't know anything. Until I started working in the senior life division with healthcare and life insurance, I had given up on humanity. It was only when I started serving older Americans and senior citizens that my faith in humanity returned. They called them the great generation for a reason. They got all the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, but we don't want it. We think we get ours from the internet now, or the preacher or somebody like that. We don't get it from the source. So people, we're literally letting historians die in our family who have all the answers to the problems you're going through because they already went through them. Hey, Jason, he said, I can tell your dad was a preacher. You speak so well, Cal. Well, honestly, I didn't grow up around my father. My father left when I was 6. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm 50% him. Yeah, we literally let these historians die in our family. They got all this information, dictionaries right in front of our face, but we don't seek it out. We want information from Andrew Tate, who hasn't even lived half the life they've lived. And most of his has been in luxury. He has not been through what they went through. I want somebody that's been through the fire. okay, that can tell me how to avoid the fire. Not somebody who was born outside the damn fire. And then he's going to try to tell you what it's like to be in the fire. He's going to tell you you're in the fire, but he's never been in there. I want somebody that's walked the road I'm walking, man. That's the best information you're going to get. And every day I would have a conversation with one of the greatest people in the world. And that's why I'm sitting here today. They were an example of what to do and what not to do. I did not want to be 62 years old sitting in one of those high-rise buildings. And if you're looking at me and you're not doing anything to improve your life mentally and physically, you're going to be there. America has a place for you. When you get old, they're going to put you there. They're going to warehouse you because they don't want to deal with you. They're going to give you Section 8. They're going to give you about $16 worth of food stamps. They're going to give you the cost of living raise on your Social Security. And then they're going to slam the door in your face and say, leave us alone. We don't want to be bothered with you anymore. He says, I'm 51. My wife said that I look 25. I told her it's the Filipino makeover. Yeah, you get that when you come here. But I told y'all I'm the only one that tried to break it down for you. If you are in the Philippines with a woman and you know you're older than her, even if you're just a foreigner, they really resent you for real. They don't look at you as a hero because they're mad at their circumstances. The circumstances that makes it, I don't want to say possible, that makes them have to deal with you. So they'll blame you for it. They'll look at you sometimes and be angry. Be like, why do I have to deal with a foreigner? Why do I have to do all of this? Even though we have nothing to do with their circumstances. They resent you, man, a lot of times. And it's up to you to change her mind. Don't think that those young women like being with us, man, no matter what you do for them. They hate it. They hate, you know, walking through the mall with a 70-year-old man. So they'll blame their circumstances on you. This is what I've learned over here. It's a lot hiding behind that smile. You know, people talking about, hey, don't bring your woman home. But one of the good things about bringing your woman home is you can get rid of that real quick because now she's in a different environment. She can earn her own money and do everything like that. They don't want to, they don't like really sitting around waiting for you to give them money and stuff like that. I mean, it's deep, really. You know, and maybe it's just my thinking, but I don't believe it is. I've been over here long enough to observe it. They don't really like that. They wish that they could be, you know, more self-supporting. And that's why a lot of women over here, the ones who still have dreams, okay, the ones who say, hey, you know, I'm going to make it on my own, they will not deal with foreigners, man. But it's kind of deep when it comes to that. They would much rather, you know, because they always, I hear Marilyn say it all the time, well, if it wasn't for the poverty, she wouldn't be with him. Well, why would you say that to me? And I have nothing to do with the poverty over here. You're trying to make it look like it's my fault. It's not my fault. Okay? But this is the attitude, but we don't see it. And then when somebody tries to tell it to you, oh, my girlfriend's not like that. It is. Okay? Do you think they like bending over backwards, doing all the shit that we have them to do? Because we're demanding. Do you think they would rather just, you know, be in a situation where, you know, they have a little bit more control over their lives than basically just giving themselves to you? They don't want to do that, man. They don't want to do it. They resent it. Now, they call them the Great Ship for a lot of reasons, not just because of World War II. Because of what you think that's all they accomplished, Khalid, Walid? If you're a history guy, man, they did a lot of stuff. Okay? Besides World War II, like World War II wasn't enough. Everything just about that we enjoy today can be attributed to them. The civil rights, Roe versus Wade, it's just on and on and on. Okay? Voting rights, women's rights, all of that can be tied to that generation. They had the testicular fortitude to bring about change. We don't want to sacrifice nothing today. We want it all handed to us, and the people said, okay, if you want to be lazy, we're going to take everything. And that's what they've done. Yeah, the boomers from us, look at the way we raise our children, man. It's one of my big regrets. My children are spoiled, man, you know, and they call it spoiled for a reason. It's no good anymore, really. Okay, it's of no use, really. I just hope that one of my kids would wake up. You know, that's why I say that we do such an injustice to women over here when we retard them, guys. You're not doing them any justice. You're doing them harm. We deny them the service, you know, the rendering of service to other people. Okay, we deny them that. We just spoil them, and pretty soon when you leave, you know, they're worse off than when they met you. You know, he said, I've got clients in their 90s. The new ones are different for sure. Well, they don't have anything to talk about. The new ones always were more, they had more of a positive outlook. The new ones, you know, when I say new, I'm saying my clients who are like just now on Medicare, 65, and, you know, to say, it's all gloom and doom, huh? And they always ask me questions, Mitch, and I'm pretty sure you get the same question. Oh, how long do you think Medicare is going to be around? Do you think they're going to take away our Social Security? You're not going to get that from the greatest generation. He says, I'm too, he says, I'm too broke. Dude, you don't know me, so I'm not going to argue with you. I'll let you stay on here and get your 5 minutes, your 2 minutes of fame. Okay? You don't know me. I don't have anything to prove to you. Who are you? Okay? Good try, nice try. But I came here when I was 55. I took the best, I took America's hardest shot and was still standing. Okay, I can go over there in the morning and pick up where I left off. Actually, I'll be better because I took a break. I'm better now than I was 2018. So no, I won't bite off that today. Who are you? He says, I'm almost 40 and they think I'm in my late 20s. But see, here's the thing. It's okay to be 40. It's okay to be 40, man, and 50 and 60. See, this is what, and they think I'm in my late 20s. Well, who the hell is they? You want to believe them, don't you? Because you don't want to be 40. You don't want to be 50. You want to be 60. You want to believe them. Oh, you're not in your late 20s. I'm not picking on, I'm just saying this is ageism, guys. This is the negative thinking about growing old. You're 40. Be happy with that. He said, I usually get 28 or something like that, but here they look young the same. But be proud that you're 40 and in your right state of mind and in a sound mind and body. That's a blessing, man. I had a brother he died at 30. I had a brother died at 26. A brother died at 55. My mother was 62. My father was 61. Those are young people, extremely young. I had a nephew, two nephews died in a fire. One was 4, one was 9. Had a nephew die of a heart attack at 36. My cousin either flipped out and jumped off the bypass on the expressway and was run over. He was 50. Or he committed suicide. Whichever one. My brother-in-law was 32 when he died. I had a nephew get killed at 19. Guys, growing old with a sound mind and body is a blessing. He said people listen to people like Andrew Tate because they listen to the loudest voice, right or wrong. But I'm just saying, they take advice from him. He's young. But your grandmother sitting there who has more knowledge, she's forgotten more than he knows. And you won't even talk to your grandmother. Because they're giving you the nitty gritty. You don't want to follow that. You want the easy, softer way. That's human nature. We want it easy. They're telling you the gut level truth that's going to help change your life around. My mother told me when I was 8 years old, she said, drinking and don't ever drink and don't ever use drugs. But guess what I did? At 12 years old, I forgot everything she told me. She told me the truth. Had I just listened to my mother, I'd be okay. I wouldn't have put myself through those 23 years of misery. But we think we know more than our mothers. We don't seek their counsel. We seek the internet. People are selling shit, man. They're not even following their own programs. Everybody's all about money. But they're not about taking better care of themselves. I mean, they made such a big deal about Kevin Samuels and all that. Oh, he's such a godfather, this and that. He was not taking care of himself, guys. That's one of the basic tenets of life. That's self-preservation too, isn't it? I'm not picking on people. I'm just saying we listen to the wrong people. Somewhere in your present circumstances is the answers that you've been looking for your whole life. All you got to do is stop and take time, man, to seek out those answers. The people around you, your own life experiences, but we're looking for something outside of us because you have so little confidence in yourself. He said, you'll see the couples where the girl's walking ahead of the man in the mall over here. Yeah, because they resent that for real. Don't think that that's anything to brag about. What they're bragging about is the new life. But the sacrifices that they have to make for that new life, they do not like that. And they will hold you accountable for that for some reason. Oh, if I wasn't poor, I wouldn't be with you. I wouldn't have to be with a, 63-year-old man. I wouldn't have to sit around and wait for you to give me money to go to the mall and all of that. He said, I saw one retirement home that had a great view of the cemetery. In front of the cemetery, because we're rushing to our graves, smoking, drinking, worrying. The old people is telling us, okay, they're telling us what to do. We're not listening to them because they don't have a podcast. They didn't play in the NBA. Remind me why I should care what's the guy who's all on the internet now with 1 × 1 = 2 and all that? Why should I care what he's saying? Charles Barkley. What makes me believe that these guys are somebody to listen to? Yeah, that's Geechee line. It's his last week in St. Carlos. I think he's going back home. He said, I turned 56 last week and made the decision to spend the next 2 years getting my health in order and moving to the Philippines or Thailand. Yeah, start today. Don't keep putting it off. Pagansanan, do you know anything about that area? I just got a friend that lives there, but I've never been there. It's not hard to get. If you fly into Cebu or Manila, it wouldn't be hard to get to me. If you fly into Manila, then you take a flight to Bacolod, then you take a bus to St. Carlos City. If you fly into Cebu, you take the bus from the South Bus Terminal to Toledo City, then you take the ferry from Toledo to St. Carlos City. It's not hard. Yeah, they were very great. They did a whole lot of stuff that we won't do because they made the sacrifices. We don't want to sacrifice Kente dynasty. That's basically all it is right there. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to go to heaven, which we want heaven here on earth, but we don't want to die. We don't want to die, so nobody's going to make the sacrifices that need to change. Nobody wants to run for office. Okay, put your hand up if you ever ran for office. I was going to run for city council. You know what? Some black guys went behind my back and sabotaged my what do you call it? My candidacy before it even got started because I was going to run against one of, I guess his candidate. I'm like, I don't mind running. I don't mind putting my hat in the ring. It's 2013. It's a true story because I'm tired of people they putting in office over there. But we don't want the sacrifice. We keep on kicking the can down the street. And then when these guys get in here, like they talking about Mitch Romney now, look up something. I learned this from Joe Rogan. Look up the founding fathers and how old they were. They were very young, guys. 18, 21, 26. They were not these Neanderthals that we have in office over there. And I looked it up, man. These guys were young when they signed the Declaration of Independence, but we don't read. They wasn't Mitch McConnell sitting up there getting stuck and frozen and all these people. Nancy Pelosi, look at all these people up there. It's like, I'm not talking about them because they're old. I'm saying that if you want change, it's usually going to come from the younger people. Yeah, the depression. Yeah, it's because we don't know. But World War II was good enough. But when you get old, okay, you're not supposed to fall in love. People look at you like you're crazy. Why can't you fall in love as an older person? And that's one thing over here, okay. And Marilyn's in here, so she hear me talking. She don't want her mother to have a boyfriend, basically. But every woman I've ever dealt with over here, when you talk about their mother having a boyfriend, how they get cringy. I'm like, what do you mean? Your mother's young. She's still active. She's still alive. She's, 68 years old. That's nothing. Okay? The ones who aren't still with their husband. But they don't, it's not something that they, and don't even talk about them having sex. Oh, they really go crazy. They don't want their parents to be happy because they think you're not supposed to be happy when you get old. This is not just in America, it's all around the world. This ageism, this discrimination against people as we get older. You're supposed to just take care of the grandkids, cook, clean, just stay out of the way, babysit and all that, right? That's what we're supposed to do when we get older. Yeah, well, that's what you got to have a lady friend first. Okay, first of all, okay, to even say that. All right, but when I say we denied them, the benefits that come from rendering service, I mean, we don't. When we get with them, a lot of them don't have jobs, or they have very low paying jobs. So instead of us trying to help them get to a whole other level, we just say, "Oh, don't even go to work. Just stay next to me." There's not a whole lot of benefits from that, and they'll come to resent you for that. Because if you break up, then how will you have me quit my job? This and that. Okay, it's always going to be your fault. He says, so should you really hook up with a Filipino since they feel this way? Well, you have to understand that's a decision you have to make. That's why we have these conversations. You can't just listen to the sugary stuff all the time. Don't you want the full story? The sugary people aren't going to tell you that. They're just going to praise the women and tell you how great they are. They leave out all the other stuff that you're eventually going to have to deal with. But when I come on and I try to give you some of that other side, I'm raining on your parade. I'm a party pooper. I'm negative. When I'm just talking about real life, having been over here over 15 years, I'm living with a woman who will tell me the real deal. Sometimes whether she realizes she's telling me that or not. And I'm listening. I come from a profession. I listen to people when they talk. Okay, when they say something like, oh, if it wasn't for the poverty, the 21-year-old wouldn't mess with a 61-year-old. Well, I hear that loud and clear. I'm hearing it to mean something a whole lot more than just an age gap. Okay? I'm saying don't blame me for the poverty. Don't blame me for your circumstances, and don't resent me for it. But all you want to do is listen to the sugary stories. Well, those are all over the internet. Yeah, but why don't they just say to you, Saran, a lot, you're nice looking? When people say you look younger, that means they think that's a compliment. But it's not really. That's ageism. Older people, man, we get discriminated against. They don't want to hire us for jobs because they think we can't do anything anymore. They don't have, I don't care how good you look, they're not going to put you on those Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. He said, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. But since we live in a society that programs us, Frank, tells us over and over that old people aren't nothing, you're afraid to get old because you know that you're getting closer and closer to death. But hell, you can die at birth. He said, great point that retiring a 20-year-old woman will leave her worse off when you pass. You don't have to pass to leave her worse off. She will. When you break up with her, she's going to be worse off than when you met her. But we don't think about that. We think we're doing them a favor.
We're gonna go.
Where?
People's Park.
When?
Today.
I know.
Maybe
Okay.
after the.
People's Park?
Yeah.
Not Center Mall?
So that we can swim.
Okay, y'all going swimming.
Kids.
Jesse James says, I'm 47, about to turn 48, and I'm taking care of myself. I'm fit and fairly healthy. I've lost most people I love. I'm grateful to be healthy and alive at this age. Life is precious and a short gift. Now, see, this is the perfect attitude to have. Just like Frank said, there's nothing you can do about it other than accept it and live. Live really to do the best you can. I'm proud to be 61. Having watched so many of my friends die. He said, hard times create hard men. Hard men create easy times. Easy times create soft men. Soft men create hard times. I couldn't have said any better. But we do live in a society that's soft right now. Okay, and I mean, we can argue about that all day, but I don't think if you got your eyes wide open, we live in a soft society. We don't have to hunt. You don't even have to really look for a job. The jobs basically come to you and knock on your door. Everything's done for you. You don't even have to think over that. We're going to tell you who to vote for. Okay, we're going to tell you who to love, who to hate. Just keep showing up for work. He said, what are your thoughts on feminism? I don't think about feminism. I don't think about it. That's my thoughts on it. I don't waste my time thinking about that stuff because it's really none of my business what other people think, especially when it comes to that. My thing is this, I keep it real simple. Men and women are equal, we're not the same. And when I mean equal, I don't mean equal in ability. I mean, we're equal in our pursuit of happiness. Our rights, protections, and privileges is what I'm saying. Everything after that, man, he said, there are a lot of lies out there. Feminism was one of the most destructive. Yeah, because women and men aren't the same. I don't care what people say. Women and men are not the same. Some things we can do better than women. Some things women can do better than men. One of them is assembly line work. Their dexterity, their hand and eye coordination is better than ours. They're more nimble when it comes to their fingers and different things like that. He said, Calvin, the average person does not take care of themselves. Men do not go to the doctor even for an annual checkup. You're exactly right. This is what I was telling Frank. He says he's baffled why women live longer than men. Well, all you got to do is look through history, Frank. Not only we don't go to the doctor, but we fight the wars. We build the infrastructure. Okay? They don't do all of that. We got the tough jobs, man. I don't know why they want to sign up for that. Just to prove that they can do it. He said, Calvin, growing up, I always wanted to be older. I'm 52 and look forward to living longer than my grandparents. They both lived well into their 90s with sound bodies and mind. Because they probably had a positive attitude about that. Like every day is a blessing. Every minute alive is a blessing. Who wants to sit around and worry about how old you are instead of enjoying that? You keep telling yourself you can't do this and you can't do that, and pretty soon you're not going to be able to do it. Yeah, Terrence Howard, that's who I'm talking about. Okay? I mean, why am I supposed to listen to him? Somebody remind me why. Well, I should waste my time listening to him and what he thinks and all that stuff. That's just entertainment. He said that's very hypocritical of them for saying such a thing. We're literally changing their lives, but it's just human nature, okay? We think that these women want us for our good looks and intelligence, Mike. They don't. They're with us because of their circumstances. And every day they wake up with us, it's a reminder of their circumstances. So they resent you for it. It takes a while for you to educate them on that. Like, why did you resent me? Just like you're saying, I'm helping you to change your life. But if all you're doing is have her laying beside you, she's not doing anything to better her life, then she's going to resent you for that. I don't have a job because of you. I don't have my own money because of you. It's all a lie. But this is the way that they think. And I'm the only one going to tell you that. They resent you for their circumstances. You are a reminder of their circumstances. Every time they see you, every time they deal with you. Because in their minds, it's only poverty. That's the only reason I'm dealing with an older man, a foreign man, somebody that lives 8,000 miles away. I've got to put myself through that. I saw an interview the other day where that's what the young lady said. She was about as truthful as I've heard in a long time. She said, why did I sign up for this? She said, I can be lonely by myself. The Filipino said that. She said, these long distance relationships are so painful. But you are constantly a constant reminder of her struggle. Okay? You got to wake them up to that. So I would tell guys, hey, you've got to help your woman go to that other level. Use your age and experience for something other than sympathy over here or whatever. But don't think I'm wrong or don't think they're wrong. You're a constant reminder of the poverty that they deal with on a day-to-day basis. And they resent you for it until you educate them. He says, I'll be visiting Dumaguete in November. What food should I stay away from in local restaurants? As in meat, burgers, drinks with ice cubes, street food. Well, I would only say that the Philippines is not the caveman days, guys. They got everything in over here that you have in the West, depending on where you are. Okay, but Dumaguete has nice steak. They have nice burgers. Okay, now the street foods, you have to be careful simply because you don't know who's cooking them. 50% of Filipino people have worms because the meat that they're eating is not fully cooked. Okay, so I would be, if you do eat the street foods, which I eat the what's the name of them damn chicken intestines? I have them cook my food crispy, all the way done, and I stand there. Okay, but when you go into these reputable restaurants, Jollibee, McDonald's, and the nicer hotels and stuff, you don't have to worry about getting contaminated ice and water. I mean, they have certain standards. I mean, but I would pump the brakes on the street foods simply because of the sanitation. He said, I've been inspired by the number of people that I've met that beat cancer. There's hope. There is hope, man, but you're cured of cancer. You don't beat it. It's like, my mother died of lung cancer. She wasn't a loser. She just had lung cancer, man. It was hard to overcome. By the time she went to the doctor, it was too late. It was already stage 4. There is no stage 5. It had spread all around, 9 days. My mother went to the hospital on a Tuesday. That following Thursday, 9 days later, she was dead. But I think your mental attitude has a lot to do with it. But 1 out of 3 of us is going to die of cancer because of this toxic food, the air you breathe, the water you drink, man. I'm sorry, but you were given a death sentence the day you were born, retired 2019. But your positive attitude is going to take you a long way. I used to do, when I first got out of, when I first started getting sober, I used to do these clinical studies. I'd go in Cincinnati, Ohio, and they pay you anywhere from 1,500. I think the most I got was 2,500 or something. But anyway, they would give half the clinical group the real drug and half the placebo. You wouldn't know what you were going to get. And the results would astonish you, man. They were about even, really. The results, the real medicine and the placebo. Because of the man, you know, your man is powerful. The Sigma Enigma, thanks for that super chat. He said, Happy Father's Day, everybody. Thoughts on Miss who? AL, who's that? What is that, guys? That's over my head, Miss AL. Oh, thank you. So how much? Happy Father's Day for my daughter. They graduated. See, she's thoughtful like that. Wow. Those are real flowers, by the way. But I don't know. Oh, Miss Alabama. What about Miss Alabama? What about her? But you know that cancer, man, is tricky. And, you know, huh? Mataba? I don't understand. What are you talking about? He said, rest in peace to your mother. Yeah, F cancer. You know, I haven't recovered from that. Maybe that's one of the reasons why a lot of times I'll self-sabotage my relationships because I guess I'm afraid of losing people. Man, you know, my mother died in 1993. And that void hasn't been filled, man. It's just the way that she died. She died so suddenly. And the way she died, she suffered. And I just, you know, I moved on, but I haven't gotten over it. He said, say the men they dealt with are irresponsible. They prefer older men, foreign men, because we appear to be more responsible. Well, they prefer foreign men because they want a better life. They, you know, y'all got to come over here. You hear me saying that? You have no idea. There's a Filipino guy who goes around to some of the poorest areas and makes videos. See, if you're going to show poverty, let it be a Filipino. I don't do those kind of videos. They're cringy to me. But if you're going to do them, let it be a Filipino. I wouldn't focus on their poverty over here. I don't know. It's like a slap in the face. But anyway, I don't think y'all really realize the struggle that some people go through over here. I think you just take it for granted. You really don't know how hard it is. All right. But you are a constant reminder of that poverty every time she sees you. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. Okay, because when she gets with you, more than likely she's not going to have her own job. She's not going to have her own money. She's going to rely on you for everything. And after a while, they'll resent you for it. I'm just telling you, man. I'm trying to help you. So that way you can make a decision. Do I really want to deal with this? Some guys say no. Do I really want to deal with the scrutiny that foreign men deal with over here? Some guys say no, they don't want to deal with it. So they go somewhere else where they're not scrutinized as much as they are. Man, we're put under a microscope over here. Doesn't matter if you're a prince or a pedophile, you're in the same basket. Some guys are like, oh, I deserve better than that. Okay, but if all you're getting is the sugar stories, you're not trying to get any kind of understanding of culture of the people and everything, you're going to walk in a pile of shit when you get over here. And then guess what you're going to do? You're going to blame the vlogger. He's an easy one to blame. And that's all they're doing. He said, black men and prostate cancer get checked, folks. Yeah. They usually tell you get checked, once a year at 40. But we have a hang up about that. We don't want nobody sticking nothing in our behinds. So we don't get it done. We got to hang up about that. He says, my baby daddy died of prostate cancer. Well, now that ain't the biggest problem. There you go, have a nice day. That is not the biggest problem. He says she gets told by the foreigner that he would be coming to the Philippines and sorry foreigner never shows up. I can see why the women think the way they think. Well, she knows, this goes right into what I try to tell you guys but y'all push back on me when I say we're the prize, we're the catch, we're the diamond. There's not as many people coming over here as you think it is. Not compared to the amount of women over here who want somebody to come over here. That's why she chats with 3 or 4 or 5 guys. There you go, have a nice day. That's why she's not sad. Because she don't know which one's coming. So she treats us all the same. If it's peekaboo, she's got to play peekaboo with everybody. They all sending money. She's all making the same promises. But now they don't get sad. Because they're under the delusion that all they got to do is get back on the dating site and get another one. But that's really not the truth. He said, only street food I had was 2 fried chicken for 40 pesos on Palawan Avenue. Tasted better than Jollibee. Well, the reason why I stay away from that, now I've eaten it before on one of those long bus trips, is because of the oil that they're frying it in. You never know how old that oil is. Trust me, they're not changing that oil like they should. So you might be eating chicken deep fried in oil that's 3 weeks old. And you say, Cal, you're making, no, I'm not. It's just like these carinderias over here. Guys, they don't have the money to make new food every day. So they sell the food till it's gone. Some of the stuff is new, whatever they sell out of. But a lot of that stuff, they're just heating it back up. You don't know how old it is. They don't have in America where you got to put it in a container and put the date and all that on it. You're not doing that at these carinderias. You got to be careful with the street food. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, but what about Miss Alabama? Y'all keep saying Miss Alabama. He said, I had stage 3 rectal cancer. Go get yourself checked, people. Hey, he said, happy Father's Day. Watching from LA. Mister, what are y'all talking about, though? I don't get it. What is it about it? Yeah, but, she's thoughtful like that. Even my birthday and all that, I'm not even expecting it. Oh, Big Shirley. I didn't see it. Oh, he's chunky. Okay. Yeah, they don't understand it. They think that when you hear poverty, you're thinking about the projects in America, the Mississippi Delta or something like that. Now, some people over here really struggle, man. You can't wrap your mind around it. You just can't do it because you've never seen it before. Yeah, but there's different levels of poverty. Well, it really doesn't have anything to do with this. He says, I found out you have to check your Filipino to remind her why you are with me and the circumstances. Yeah, but every day she sees you, Frank, it reminds her of her circumstances. Because deep down inside, she doesn't want, do you think those women really want to work in those bars? Do you think, these women really want to deal with these old guys? They got the old guy smell. They're normal people over here. They're not from outer space. It doesn't matter how poor they are. They have their preferences too. Imagine being forced into a relationship. You're going to be resentful. That's all I'm saying. Don't miss that point. But until you can educate her and show her that, it's okay, I'm going to help you. Not just by giving you money and building your house, but so that you won't have to keep dealing with foreigners. It'll be a educated choice. You know, you'll have a real choice. You won't be forced into anything. A lot of these women are being forced into these relationships. Why are we trying to sugarcoat it? Don't sugarcoat it, guys. They don't want you for your good looks and intelligence. Everyone you see on there, they're forced into that. Do you really think, remember I tell you this, average men dating average women, do you really think, some of these guys, you see them, not only on YouTube, come over here, you'll see it. Do you really think the woman's happy? Huh? Do you really think that? Some of the guys that I see these women dealing with over here, they're not happy, man. They're forced into that. After a while, as they get to know you and everything like that, and you being the man you're supposed to be and all that, maybe you can remedy that, but it takes a long time. Women don't want you for your good looks and intelligence, man. That's right. It does foster resentment. I'm not just up here yapping, man. I'm telling you that it is. Every time she wakes up and see your old ass laying over there, it's a reminder. Like, why do, now all of a sudden she's the victim. Oh, why I gotta, why was I born over here in the circumstances I was born into? So then they say, okay, well, I'm gonna take him for everything that I can. It's up to you to remedy that, man. You gotta say, hey, I know, instead of dreaming and acting like you really don't know what's going on, have a heart-to-heart talk with your woman. And say, I know it's gotta be messed up with you. You're 21, I'm 61, because they quick to say, oh, I love you, and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that, trying to convince themselves it's okay. They keep telling themselves over and over and over, it's okay, Hey, Ryan, the Eaton Warrior, thanks for that super chat. He said, ageism. Yeah, come on now, Cal. We all know, what's he saying? If the young, if the young 20-year-old didn't need money, they would look twice. They wouldn't look twice at a man outside our age range. These old guys are delusional. But we're not talking about that type of ageism. But you're exactly right. But why do people have a problem with this, Ryan, the Eaton Warrior, when you tell them this? Why do they get angry at the messenger? It's obvious why she's with you, okay, because of her circumstances. And every day you're a reminder of that circumstance. And it's going to be up to you to change it. Okay, and ageism is going to play a part. Be like, hey, look, I don't care how old I am or how old you think I am. I'm as good as any man you ever going to have. So you might as well quit all that age stuff. And that's what I tell her. You want to roll the dice and go back out there, go ahead. You want a younger man, go ahead. You can replace me with a body. Okay, but I'm as good as it gets for you. Okay, you don't have to be ashamed of that. See, this is the kind of talk I have, real talk. I'm talking about, oh, I love you, I'm so happy to have you and all that, man. You better talk real life talk, because a lot of times, man, what poverty does, I grew up poor, but not poor like over here. I grew up poor in America, but not poor like over here. It has a drastic effect on people. Okay, a lot of times these women aren't normal. A lot of women suffer from PTSD over here because of that, man. You better get to know the woman. Know where she comes from. Know who you dealing with. I'm not trying to bust your bubble. He said, Vivica Fox, no thank you. But honestly, guys, do you think that Vivica Fox, if you're 60-year-old man, would that be hypocritical? So what about if a younger woman's looking at you and saying like, oh, well, him, no. No, thank you. Yeah, looking like Mr. Magoo, yeah. But we're under the delusion. Ryan, thanks for that super chat. He said the truth angers some people because it forces them out of their dream world. It does. But I think once you can really come to grips with reality, it's better. I mean, I never was under any delusion that they wanted me for my good looks and intelligence, but there's men who will push back on that. They think that it's their ego. I mean, I can just see it. They really think, these women, really want them because of who they are. Because I've heard the conversations, man, and if you hear them, my woman's honest and tells me about what's going on because I want to know. But what you don't know can't hurt you. If you want to be in denial, that's on you. I'm not going to be in denial. Like I said, I'm at that point now where I don't even argue. If you're happy and you're satisfied, if she's happy and satisfied, big deal. And that's all we are, Mr. We're all Mr. Magoo, basically. Okay, that's all we are. We can't see, we're oblivious to everything going on around us, but we're happy, because Mr. Magoo is happy. Yeah, Thomas, he said, that's true, Calvin. I'm sure they would rather be with a Filipino that can provide what we bring to the table. And that's exactly right. They're not from outer space. This is 100% correct. Okay. But why else, where else in the world does women like much older men than here? But at the same time, if you can educate your woman on why it's okay to be with you, you don't have any reason to be embarrassed. You don't have any reason to be ashamed. You've got to educate her because remember, society says there's something wrong with us. You're not supposed to be with an old man. That's what society's telling her. But if you educate her and say, look, I'm at the peak. You know what? Being with an older man, you know how that benefits you? You can learn so much from me. Like the guy said, I'm more dependable, I'm more responsible. My finances are more in order. Okay. If you just open your mind and see what I really have to offer and look past the age, that's your responsibility. She's never going to come to that conclusion on her own, man. Why would they? Yeah, well, why would they come to that conclusion on their own when they're being beaten ahead by society and tell them it's wrong? Because we're not supposed to have a healthy sex life. Remember, we're old. We're not supposed to be happy, youthful. We're not supposed to be any of that. We're supposed to be in a wheelchair somewhere or a rocking chair watching our grandkids, playing bingo. Yeah, we're all Mr. Magoo. He says, this is a great point. He said, if these guys want to know the truth, just go back and look at your former wife or girlfriend back home in the West. But since we're talking about ageism today, we're talking about the negative thinking about older people. It's all around the world. It's not just in the West, but that's one of the reasons we're moving out of the West. We're leaving. We're saying we're tired of the discrimination. We're tired of the box they want to put us in over there. We just want to live and be happy. Can we do that? But it's going to follow you if it's in your mind. He says, I've been there. She went back out there. No one gave her a ring. She wants to come back. I said, no, you had your chance. And this is a fact. This is what you should do. He said, that's why we see most girls here with kids with foreigners. It's not our looks. I believe that. I seen a guy with 5 kids, not his. They were locals, and he was about 60 years old. But what's the point you're making? He says, you say that, but you and the passport bros only talk about Philippines and how better they are than Americans. No, how different they are. Not better, how different. We're looking for something different, Jim. And we're not going to listen to you today. If you don't want to come on here and, be positive and have something to say other than that, because I'm not going to give all the sugary stuff. We're not going to put up with you today, Jim, okay? So if you want to join the community, join the conversation, don't be a devil's advocate. It's Father's Day over here, okay? I'm going to zap you because we're not saying they're better. We're saying they're different. And he says, wow, what guys do for regular maintenance. I could never get with a woman, with a mom, with a 5, and just support someone else's family like that. Well, see, this is what I'm saying, though. This is a good thing, though, Rand. Because when you come here, they put us all in the same basket. You're proving my point. We're not all the same. But they want you to think we are. We're not. Some guys don't mind being with a woman with 5 children, or 2 children, or dating single mothers, or whatever it is. Other guys won't do it, and that's fine. Don't paint us all with the same brush, but that's what happens when you get over here. We're all desperate. We're all lonely. We're all old when you come over here. It doesn't matter if you're a prince or a pedophile, remember? So this is the stuff we have to talk about so you can make up your mind. You can say, hey, do I really want to put up with that? See, it's just like Jim says, if you're hearing all that good stuff all the time, oh, that's so much better. And then you're not going to really be getting the full story. So guess what? You're going to run over here and you're going to step in a pile of shit. That's what's going to happen. And then guess what? You're going to blame the vlogger. You're going to blame the passport bros, he said. That's what's going to happen. We all do it because it's easy for us. Hey, thanks, Rand, the Eden Warrior. Thanks for that super chat. He said, I've been watching you for a few years now, Cal. I love what you're bringing to the discussion that most Filipino tubers don't touch. Thanks for keeping it real. Send this to a few Filipinos in need. I will. I've got a new game, guys, that I'm going to do every week until somebody wins 5,000. I think I told y'all about it. It's called the Lucky Number Sweepstakes. And when I see people on the street, instead of waiting for them to say, hello, Sunshine Shoulders, I'm just going to give them a card, an index card with a number on it. Well, next Sunday at 3 p.m., we're going to spin the wheel. The number comes up, they're going to have a choice of 4 keys. I'm going to have 3 boxes with 4 keys. One key is not going to open up anything. So if they pick that, they're going to lose. They're not going to win anything. I might give them 100. But one key is going to open a box with 500, one with 1,000, one with 5,000. They don't have to answer any questions. It's more of the suspense. It's more of just seeing their reaction. Just because I'd say, hey, is this your final choice? Because they're not going to know. I'm adding that 4th key to add some drama to it. But yeah, thank you, man. When y'all give me super chats, I get them the following month. I don't get them right away, but I've got the money put to the side for that. And I think it's going to be really fun. People are getting excited because 5,000 pesos is a lot of money here. Okay. Especially for the people who play my games. The people who play my games are the ones who need it the most. So So the tricycle drivers, that's why they all know me. The tricycle drivers, all of them know me because they follow my channel. They follow my Facebook page. The rich ones probably don't. They probably don't know who I am. But the masses of people in St. Carlos City, they know me because they follow my page. And this game is going to be amazing because, man, and everybody's going to be around, and I'm going to film it. And they're going to get a choice of those 4 keys. But, you know, it's called supporting people. He said he's been following me for a few years, Frank. And, you know, I think this guy's got a good job. I mean, you know, but you'll pay $200 to go see Beyonce, $500 to see Jay-Z, and had a hit out in years. Yeah, he said if that's his thing, I say let him come out the pocket if he wants. My limit would be 1 kid no older than 5 and doesn't know the dad. That's just me. I take my hat off to guys who do more. But y'all just making my point 53 shades darker. We're not all the same over here, but they think we are. They label us all the same, but we're not. We're a rainbow of people. I give the example, okay? They think we're all takers. Remember, Filipinos, they date the world. We date Filipinos, so they really don't know what they're getting. Their dating pool is toxic. They literally get lucky. Go and watch, okay, the last video that Too Much Time on My Hands 65, Kevin did. He's showing that house again. It's the 3rd blogger I've seen that reviewed that man's house. 220 million pesos he's selling it for, which is, you know, just to round it off, is about $4 million, US dollars. Well, you don't think that Filipino got lucky? She had no idea he had that kind of money. Okay, she got lucky. But the link that I put in this description is the opposite. He's a 70-year-old foreigner, came over here, dealt with a 17-year-old woman. I think the family's in on it because they thought he was rich. But he wasn't. He had a pension. He had his way with the girl, and then he died and left her with nothing. But we're not all the same. He said, is that the wheel of fortune combined with let's make a deal? I believe it is. Well, not really, because let's make a deal, you say, he's giving them, do you want door number 1, 2, or 3? This is going to be 4 keys. I'm not even going to know which key opens what the box, because Merlin's going to, you know, put the money in the boxes and everything. So it's not let's make a deal. I'm just going to add that little spin to it, like, you know, they got the key, and I'm saying, you sure that's the one you want? I'll give them a chance. You know, you can change it because, you know, you only get 1 key. But 1 key is not going to open up anything. And it's going to be, wah, 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 you know, wah, wah. It just kind of makes it fun. Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't know. It's just something in our language. I don't like it either. It's cringy to me. So I just say my Filipino girlfriend or, you know, Filipino women. But you know, you didn't tell me it's a holiday tomorrow. But the man at the bank told me. And Robert says, women are trying to take advantage of me here in the States. I'm 60 years old. She's 46. I helped her. She took the money and ran. It's all about money with her, apparently, but I allowed it to happen. Yeah. Did you give her the money? Or she robbed you? If she robbed you, that's a crime. But if you gave it to her, then evidently, because she didn't do what you said or whatever it was, that's not a scam. Well, I didn't have a problem with women. Okay, you gotta understand, I didn't. I had a problem with society, Jim. Okay, I'm just saying that you never have anything to bring to the table. The first time you give us a good suggestion on how to live overseas or how to live better will be the first time. You're always the devil's advocate. It's not the same globally. Circumstances and culture have a lot to do with that. Okay, I'm sorry. And if you've never been around the world, if you've never been everywhere, you can't make that such a stupid statement. I'm trying to say that women nature is the same. Have you been all around the world and dealt with women from all over the world? If you have, then you probably can make that statement, but I doubt if you have, okay? No, I'm sorry. Hey, Robert Bone, thanks for that super sticker. You know, people kill me with that. All women are the same. You don't know. You haven't dealt with all women. That's a cop-out. He said, unfortunately, when most of the dads break up with the mothers, they rarely see their children again. But let me say this. It's not because of the father situation. It's really a cultural thing, man. They will shut you out. Okay, they would shut you off from seeing the kids. But in Maryland's situation, the father can come over if he wants to. He won't because he can't have Maryland. So he don't want anything to do with his own kids. That's okay. Some other man raised me, guys. I mean, I had big brothers, but he paid the bills. Human beings, man, we're all in this together. Okay, if you want to make a distinction and say, okay, I don't want to take care of somebody else's children when somebody probably took care of you. I mean, because my mother was a human being. When they split up, my mother went out and got another man. Okay, she was still young, 38. And he accepted her children because it was one of those things. It's me and my children, we come as a package. It didn't used to be frowned upon to do that. See, real men, not only do they take care of themselves, but they take care of their woman and their household. That's only, you're not a fool to do that. You're a fool if you don't do that. You're out here making single mothers, but you don't want to date them. I get it. If I'm older, I see that that's going to limit me. If I'm with a woman who has children or whatever it is, then that's a choice you got to make. But don't knock a woman for trusting the wrong man or whatever it is. You don't know the whole circumstances. He said, you always have a choice. Thank you, man. There's someone out there for everybody if you're patient and selective about what you want or what you really want. No more settling for the quick and easy. But, most of us, AC King, believe it or not, that's when we go out hunting, when we're hungry, when we're desperate. The best time to go hunting is on a full stomach. The best time to go shopping is on a full stomach. But we don't. That's just how it is. You only go out there when you get desperate, when times get hard. And you end up picking the wrong one because your judgment is clouded. You're in a hurry, that sense of urgency. You want that hit. So the dope man ends up selling you soap. Okay. This is perfect circumstances, what you're talking about. And only the most self-disciplined people are able to do this. He said, Calvin, no divorce in the Philippines makes a man feel safer to not lose mostly everything he worked so hard for after going through a bad divorce in a system who rewards someone who just kissed you. Well, you wouldn't have to go through a divorce if you wouldn't have picked the wrong person. Or maybe you're the wrong person. Just because divorce is not legal over here doesn't mean people don't separate. They're still human over here. Now, do they have child support and all that alimony, and the courts are going to come after you like they do in America? No. But all that's not even about the children for real, because they really don't care. Okay, that's just about getting in office and all that stuff like that, getting elected. But nobody gets married to get divorced. Times we go out hunting, we go shopping when we're hungry. So you're going to choose the wrong person. How many times have you went shopping, grocery shop, when you're hungry? And next thing you know, you got all this junk in your damn basket. It's the same thing when you go out there. If you get married now, you know you're going to get divorced. So you might as well start looking now when you're happy with your wife. Okay, I'm going to put you over here. So then when the minute it's over with, you're not desperate. You go out there and you get the other one. But that's not how we're going to do it. You get married, you're thinking, oh, I'm never going to split up. We're never going to get divorced. We're going to be together forever, until you're not. Then you go through what they say, the average person around the world, not in America, around the world, gets their heart broken 3 times. And you spend about 2 years getting over those breakups. So you're going to be out there. You're going to go through that. And then by the time you're ready again, you're thirsty. You haven't had a woman in 6 to 9 months. He says, people know that you're doing great things in your community. It's true. If you watch the Joe Rogan thing, and I showed Marilyn, the principle of when you help other people, you help yourself. It's not man, but it's that law is as rigid as the law of gravity. That's what they were talking about. How they get a kick out of helping other people. It does more to them. It helps them more than the people that they help. And that's why I do it, because when I was struggling, somebody helped me. But if you never do it, if you never try it, see, we're too selfish. So we don't want a woman who's got kids. This is the one reason why our relationships don't work. We're too damn selfish. You know, you don't want to help. Okay, just like the young lady, I call her my daughter, that gave me these flowers. You don't think by me helping her and helping her life be better, that the universe is somehow going to shine on me? It doesn't matter if you believe it or not, it's going to happen. But just the fact that I can make a difference in somebody's life, I'm not going to be around somebody and not help them. I mean, what kind of human beings are we dealing with nowadays? He said divorce bill is now in the Senate. Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. It hasn't even went to the Senate yet, RV, because the Senate president has asked for a recall on the vote. So they're not even going to look at that. They're going to check that vote count again July 22nd. But that's not going to pass. The House of, how many times, RV, and you're a Filipino, or you've been here long enough to know, how many times has that bill been sent to the Senate? That's not front page news, because just 6 years ago, the same bill was sent to Senate and it got shot down. They've been trying to get that divorce bill passed, the absolute divorce bill passed, since 1917. Philippines is very conservative. They still believe in the institution of marriage. And even if they do get the divorce bill, who's to say it's going to be like it is in the West? We've convinced ourselves that it is. We convinced ourselves that you're going to be able to get that no-fault divorce. I remember it used to be so cheap. Yeah, you go and get one of them damn lawyers $150 and you can be done with it. We're dreaming, guys. We're only dreaming. That's wishful thinking. He said she couldn't get a local man, so she was looking for another foreigner. The locals didn't want a widow. And a lot of times, okay, if you come over here and you've dealt with a Filipino woman, if you don't leave her off any better than where you found her, the locals may not want to deal with her either. Okay, because now she's liberated, you know. But if you leave her with a house and money in the bank and all that, now that's a different story, because that's happened before. There's a young woman here in St. Carlos City living that life. The man died, left her money, and now she's with a young Filipino man. He said, but what's love have to do with it? Thank you. Love is such a broad term. And do you ever really know if a woman loves you or not? When you over here and you're playing this game, the woman's going to do everything for you as if she loves you anyway. You're not going to be able to know the difference. You're not going to be able to know the difference. So why even worry about that? She's going to do the same things for you that a woman who loves you would do. She's going to cook, clean, and do all of that for you. You're never going to know. He says, and the reason I'm saying that is because, this is 53 Shades Darker, it's because of my experience with a woman with 3 kids that wasn't mine. After 15 years, betrayal by all of them, used like a city bus. Lesson learned, my experience. Yeah. If you can't learn from your own life experiences, who are you going to learn from? I just grew up in, maybe because, like I said, I grew up in a big family. And then I grew up with a stepfather. He was a good guy, retired from the Air Force. He was a fireman in the Air Force, worked at the airport as a fireman. You know, he just never gave us any problem. He loved my mother, and that's what really bonded me with him. I saw how good he treated my mother. But he's cut from a different cloth. May he rest in peace. You know, men were different back then. We wasn't so feminine now like we are today. We're soft. You know, you're going to end up spending your money doing something stupid anyway. Yeah, she hit the lottery big time with that big house, but that's not the only. They showed another house for 19 million pesos that they're trying to sell that the man owns too. But 220 million, okay, and you're going to say he's the predator? No, he's not the predator. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. See, find a job after 55 is nearly impossible because they think you can't handle it. That's why they set a limit. There's guys right now who are athletes who can still play in the NFL and all different ones, but when they reach a certain age, they say, no, we got to get rid of you and bring in the young guys. It's ageism. He says, are you set up to take stream calls yet? You mean you can actually just come on I'm not against people coming on my live stream. I was one of the first people who start them panels. Okay, don't forget that, guys. A long time ago, I figured that out. I said, I need to get some of these guys on my panel, but people don't want to do it. They're afraid to show their face. They want a happy handle, because I'm not going to bring you on here and have you have your profile up there and you're going to be talking audio only. No, I don't play that. You either show your face or don't come on my channel. I said it actually started today. I'm going to my EID prayer in the morning. This one usually lasts 4 days. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to change for you, okay? Because that's what separates me from everybody else. It's called passion. Okay, try it instead of being so damn dry all the time. A lot of these guys are dry as a bone, but that's what y'all like because that's what you used to. going down line by line. What are you doing? That's not me. I'm sorry. Okay. But that's what you're used to. Your church is different from my church, Jim. Okay. Your whole life experience is different from mine. What you're seeing is my life experience. Yeah, I thought you'd be making a lot of these statements. He's an armchair president of the Armchair Bro Association. Most of these guys are. Yeah, he said, Brother K, I always believed that being poor is a state of man. I've been broke many times, but I've never been poor. Yeah, being poor is a state of man. I've helped educate my Filipino nationals soaring. And this is what we can offer them. You know, we get criticized for bringing Filipinos out of the country. Okay. But really, it's a good thing because when you leave them here, if you're not going to really help them, because, you know, me and Merlin, we're going to be, I promise you that before it's all said and done, Merlin's going to be on her feet doing something we tried before, but we just got into the wrong things. You know, we was into the rice business, but everybody wants credit. You can't stay in business doing that. Okay. So we want to do something where people, there is no credit. Like these small houses, building these tiny homes for people. Okay. Because that's what she does. She knows how to get all the paperwork and everything done, the deed and all that. That's what she did before she stopped working. So we're going to get back into doing that. Something that she knows how to do. I don't have to train her or anything. But people get on you for bringing a woman back. Well, if you know the woman you bringing back, you don't have anything to worry about. But if you coming over here desperate and you're marrying women you don't know and you're bringing them back and then it blows up on you, then you blame the woman. No, you got to blame yourself. Hey, thank you. He said, what's up, Cal? I'm still enjoying your Big Shirley video. Yeah, but you're going to tell me, you're right about this. And this is something off subject a little bit. But you're going to tell me if you meet a woman, okay, that checks all the boxes, but she's got one or two children, you're not going to deal with her, and you're 60 years old or 65 or something. See, we're not talking about when we were in our prime. We're not in our prime anymore. Okay. And this is all I'm saying. You know, we're trying to get something for nothing. You might as well stay single, especially if you come to a place like the Philippines. If you got that sort of thinking, can you get a woman who has no children, who has a good job, who has a great education? Yeah, but she's probably not going to be on that dating site. Okay, you really got to. It's like you really got to take your time on the dating site if you're looking for a woman with no children, because they'll even tell you they don't have children because they know it increases their chances of meeting somebody. They know how we are. We can come over here with 3 or 4 children, but she better not have one. I'm not just going to be that closed-minded, man. I'm not going to do it. That's all I'm saying. But if a woman checks all the boxes, okay, and because she may have a child or two, I'm not going to throw her back. Yeah, wow. Yeah, he said, I heard that Filipino divorce since the 70s. Yeah, the Filipinos are conservative, and even if they approve that one, man, I'm gonna tell you, it's not gonna be like it is in the West. I mean, it's just crazy over there. I mean, this is what, okay, I think it's the reason why my wife won't give me a divorce. I don't know, and maybe it has something to do with her culture, or maybe she just wants me to come over there and do it. So she can say, well, he's the one filed for divorce or whatever. I'm gonna pay for it. You can't get a divorce easier than in the United States. I don't think there's any other place where it's easier. Okay. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of reasons why people are getting divorced. We don't know. It's just are we asking too much? See, the way the institution of marriage as we understand it now comes from religion. Okay, so that's enough said right there. Okay, there's not enough people here. People say, oh, there's somebody for everybody. It's really not. It's really not. There's not the same amount of women as there is for men. Okay, I'm sorry, that's just not true. The benevolent one didn't make it that way. That's why a lot of times when you get with somebody, they've already been with somebody, and you had already been with somebody. There's not enough, there's not an equal amount. And if everybody stayed with their mate, then you probably wouldn't be with the woman that you're with now. She certainly wouldn't be with you. It's not a perfect world, but we want it to be perfect. I don't get that. Who says that if I'm a man and I'm a hunter, I'm always going to be on the hunt. As long as I can take care of the women I've got, why not? But they say one man for one woman at a time. You can get divorced over and over and over, but you can only have one at a time. That's you plan to fail when you get married. You're going to get tired of that one woman. What's he shouting at? Yeah, what's love got to do with it? Yeah, love is just so broad of a term, man. We get caught up on this love. I mean, it's crazy. Hey, he said, hello, sir. Happy Father's Day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care always. Thank you. Yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. He said, your daughter just showed it's not ridiculous gifting flowers to men. So good and sweet gesture. If I'm going to give present to my man, I'm thinking his best perfume on his man Drake car. Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with that. But see, that's what I'm saying. People are thoughtful. Now, if I were at home, my daughters would probably invite me over to cook dinner or something like that. They're not going to give me flowers. They're not going to give me flowers. They think that's reserved for their husband or boyfriend. I'm just saying. Rick Hart, thanks for that super chat. He said, we have residential and commercial units priced right for the dreamer. Rent gets paid or you are replaced. What are you talking about? He said, yeah, that old ball and chain. Yeah, but there's a lot of people over here who are separated and they're dealing with foreigners now, and the foreigner is paying for the annulment. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pay for an annulment. It's expensive and it's time consuming. Now, that's different, than dealing with a single mother. I mean, imagine how much money that costs you. It depends on who you want to talk to. My friend from Canada, he claimed he only paid 350,000 pesos only and waited 5 years. That's too much for me. He said, there's nothing wrong with marriage as long as you don't make the mistake of getting a marriage license. You'll find nothing about a marriage license in the Bible. Yeah. Or a minister's license. You can go down, anybody can become a minister. But it is something wrong with marriage. If you know that in your culture, 50% of them are going to end in divorce, the second marriage is even higher, third, even higher. If I tell you that investment you get ready to put your money into, 50% of people lose their money, I think you're going to be hesitant on making that investment. Or if I tell you, you know, when you get on that plane to go to the Philippines, 50% of those planes crash. Are you still going to do it? You're not going to do it. Well, I said in the way that we understand it, nameless. Go back and listen to that part. Okay. Of course, a lot of things existed before religion. He said an open relationship. But see, the problem is the way you got this, it's one-sided. Well, what if she wants to bring other men in? Would that be an open relationship? See, he said maybe some need to discuss with their girls an open relationship. That way she knows it's going to be other girls. Well, are you going to like other men? I doubt it. I doubt that you're going to want, you really got to be open-minded, but there are couples over here. I know them personally who swing, meaning swap wives, who have threesomes and foursomes and like that. But how many men are built like that? Not many men are built like that, 53 Shades Dark. I don't think you're built like that. Okay, but it's always, oh, can I deal with other women? Yeah, but what if she says, well, I want to bring in another swinging dick into the bedroom, okay, to jack me up while you watching? You're not going to like that. You're not going to like that at all. Well, was there really a King Solomon? Is what I'm trying to say. Married a princess from every kingdom, and they said he was the wisest man ever lived. Dozens of wives. Yeah, smart man. Yeah. It's just too hypocritical. And then, you know, what religion? Yeah, but they don't want to open, you don't want an open relationship for real. He said, me, if I was going to do it with another, I would just tell her the truth. But if she decides to stay, but I'm saying that's one-sided. If she says, yeah, I agree to an open relationship, as long as I can see other men too, the man is not built that way. It is some over here. But I don't want another man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't deal with it. We're too possessive, man. We're too, you know, the ego and everything. And then who wants to watch a naked man, another naked man? You got to sit there and watch him. Yeah, swingers over here. I know a couple personally that swing. That's all I say. I would never expose them because I asked them, I said, man, you know, if y'all had a YouTube channel and talked about that stuff, you'd have a big booming channel. But they don't want their family. Their family don't know. But yeah, they swing. Yeah, King Solomon. You know, it's funny, you can't find any of that stuff. You know, all them people in the Bible, all that, you can't find one spoon, not one fork that they ever existed. He said, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would you want another man doing that while you're watching? Yeah, but it's one-sided. When we talk about an open relationship, we're not talking about her, we're talking about us. That's why, men very seldom will they take a woman back if she goes out and lays with another man. For a woman to lay down, man, there's something going on. Okay, it's much more than us. We can screw another woman and come back home and still love our wives and stay married. But just the thought of another man, with your woman's legs jacked up, pounding it's never going to be the same. You're always going to see that in your man, no matter how many women you're dealing with. Yeah, but we want the open relationship. We want the open relationship. I love LaChon. But like Frank said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But we don't want that. You sit there and watching your wife get throated right in front of your face. You're never going to be the same anymore. Yeah, you can't unsee that. She's gagging and everything. But yeah, guys, I'm going to get off of here. Yes, y'all know it's Father's Day over here. Well, hell, it's Father's Day over there now, unless you're on the West Coast. Again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers, especially the stepfathers, man. We get so little credit. All we do is get kicked. We're fools, they say it. I'm not going to I think it takes a bigger man to take care of somebody else's kids. Because remember, they're just children. They have no choice in the matter. I'm not justifying it. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But don't be a hypocrite. If you made some single mothers over there, or you were raised by a stepfather, I just wasn't raised that way. He said the Panay women who are friends with girly boys makes me ask questions. Well, it's just like a different culture over here. Yeah. I'm not going to say they accept it. They tolerate it. They accepted it. There would be laws on the books. But there's no same-sex marriage over here. Okay, then they're not going to buy. They have, gay beauty contests and all that kind of stuff like that, but it's not accepted. Yeah, we're going to be like that. Polygamous by nature. Hey, you're welcome, Jeffrey, man. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate your super chat, super stickers, all your memberships, all your support, man. I got a good video coming out. If you're a member, you can watch it now. Who's the predator? Who's the prey in the Philippines? Is the question I'm asking. Because as foreign men, we have a terrible reputation over here. They think we're all takers. No matter how much good we do, you're still going to be put in that same basket with the damn pedophile and the freaks and the abusers. There's nothing you can do. Some guys say that, I don't want that. They just say that they don't want that type of scrutiny. They can't handle it. That's why a lot of guys don't start YouTube channels and everything. They keep a small circle of friends because they don't want that scrutiny. The guy asked me earlier, he said, hey, do people look at your relationship as negative? They do, because I'm a foreigner, and they put all foreigners, and it doesn't matter that we're happy and everything, and we're, we got some things going on over here. It's just the way it is. As long as I've been here and people know me, I'm still a foreigner. Okay? It's never going to be any different. They're never going to say, oh, yeah, that's Calvin, when they talk about Maryland. You're gonna say, no, she's married to that foreigner over there. She's got children by a foreigner. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're Chinese, Indian, American, Australian, and it's just something that I'm trying to change. Okay, is it impossible? Probably. You can't change the Philippines. Yeah, but you know I'm right, Isaiah. You're not gonna want to see that. You can't unsee that. But this is what we want. But take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time. Don't do anything stupid. Yeah, but it's true, Kevin. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. We think of an open relationship and everything, just us in bed with two other women or whatever. But we never think about that big old weightlifter and all that joining the party. You in there having a good time, and here he walks in, and your wife goes over there and jumps on top of him. Yeah, that's right, man. I could never go back to her after that. That's the way I see it. And I may be shallow, I may be hypocritical, whatever it is, but I don't think I am. I think I'm just being a man. Now, after you've been with somebody a long time and, it's over, you've given yourself time enough for his damn semen cells to dissolve. I don't know how long that takes. Then I'm good with it. But not the same damn night. Yeah, you sitting there watching her gobble down something. You like, my God. But yeah, take care, everybody. I'll see y'all next time. We're going to eat lunch. See if I might be able to get my Father's Day gift from Maryland.